Hello, everyone. Welcome to the seller webinar, the four strategies for selling your home fast and at the highest profit no matter what. Welcome, everyone, to the webinar. I'm so excited to present to you all of the information in this webinar because of with the dynamic market right now, a lot of homeowners asking me the question, what is the best way to sell on the market? Because there's not just one single way. There are multiple options. In fact, there's actually four, which I will be presenting all the information with you today. So I'm happy to share with you about that information. Specifically, we are going to talk about strategy number one, which is about the active marketing. Now, the key point is an active marketing strategy, right? Rather than passive marketing. And I will share more information on that. Number two is buy before you sell. This is a great benefit for someone who is currently owning a house. How you do that and what kind of detailed benefit, we'll talk about that too. Number three is a creative financing option. This become a very popular options in nowadays market because of the high interest rate and because this is giving the great opportunity, great benefit for the buyers. The sellers tend to have a higher profit in using this strategy. And last but not least, strategy number four, iBuyer and wholesaler. Please noted that not every single one, not every single strategy is going to be fit with everyone, right? Some of the sellers, some of the homeowners may be more benefit to strategy one, but other people may be more benefit for strategy three. And therefore, at the end of the webinar, I will present to you how you determine which strategy that best fit your situation. With that, let's dive right into number one. All right. So strategy number one, active marketing. In this strategy, you do have to hire a real estate agent. Pay attention. The reason why is that not everyone is the same. Not all the real estate agents are going to be the same. Depend on the experience and marketing skills that someone may have. Right? Some of the real estate agents, they just take pictures and then post on the MLS. Okay, and that's pretty much it. They don't have any active marketing involved. They don't showing their listing on social media. They don't have a way to advertise on social media, which is the channels, the tool that a lot of buyers use nowadays, right? And of course, with an experienced real estate agent, you getting more support from them. Okay, we're not talking just because of the marketing materials that provided by the real estate agents, but also the negotiation skill as well. Most of the time, I saw a lot of people can do for sale by owner. Yes, that is also one of the strategy also that you can sell yourself, right? But because most of the for sale by owner, or even you, if you're watching this, you're probably not familiar with the selling process of the house. There's no experience in negotiation, and there's some tactic to make sure that you get the best value for your home, right? So using a real estate agent can help you from that standpoint to help you because they negotiate. A good experienced real estate agent have a lot of negotiation experience on their hand, and therefore they're going to be able to help you even more. Additionally, they have knowledge about the forms, the documents, the legal terms that involve in a real estate transaction. So that's the reason why having a real estate agent is extremely important. But however, though, because remember again, to ask questions because not all the real estate agent can be the same. The fact is this, it's really easy to get a real estate license. They only need to do 90 hours pass two tests, one from the school that they attend and one from the state. And that's it. They legally become a real estate agent. But of course, the newer real estate agents, they may not have as much experience as an experienced veteran real estate agents, right? Or even with veterans, if they don't update in terms of marketing strategy, therefore active marketing, right? Then they don't have a way to advertise your property on the market. So remember to interview as many real estate agents as possible. I would recommend at least 3 questions. Oh, man, I'm sorry, 3 real estate agents so that you can choose the best out of the best. Okay. Here's some suggested question that we can talk about. Like, do you work full time? Some of the agents working part time. Actually, if they work part time, will they gonna be able to involve to the entire process as best as possible? Okay, how many potential buyers? How they can get those buyers? Right? What kind of advertise that they are going to do to get those buyers? Is it just passively posting pictures and that's it, right? Or actively any active actions that they are going to do? How do they encourage realtor to show the house? Do they understand the real estate market? How they come up with the price for your home? Right? Some of the people just say, okay, this number makes sense, and that's it. There's no data backup, and that is very important in our market. As of today, January of 2024, the interest rate is about 7%. All right, a lot of buyers cannot afford to buy a house in this market, and therefore, if a house gets listed on the public on the internet and is overpriced, no one gonna be able to buy that house. Okay, so you have to be careful. They have to have some kind of data to back up the price. That's the reason why you have to ask how they can come up with the price in for your home, right? So these are only 5 suggested questions. I do have a list of more questions. If you are interested in that list of 20 questions that you should ask your listing agents, contact me directly. I'll send it to you for free. With that, let's talk about strategy number 2. This is the buy before you sell strategy. Okay, so what may not work? So based on the name, that this is suggesting that you are the current homeowner. Okay? You currently own a house and you want to move to a different property. Okay, so because the process involves selling and the buying, the moving from this one property to another property is normally very complicated, and you have to make sure that you align the timing makes sense, right? For property number 1, property number 2. So in this situation, the best options is to buy before you sell. Okay, that means at the same time you have to qualify. If you buy by mortgage, by the way, if you do by cash, there's no problem. But there's nothing to talk about, right? If you do take on the mortgage, you have to make sure that you qualify for 2 mortgages at the same time. That may be very tricky because with the current high interest rate, not a lot of people can have enough good enough income to qualify for 2 mortgages at the same time. But if you do, this is a great way because you can just go buy the house, shopping as much as you could, right? Choosing the house as much as you could, fit your budgets, move into that house, getting the first house ready, and then sell it later. Okay, that is the best option, and that gives you more profit for the first property as well. But in some situations, it doesn't work. So what could we do? The solution is some of the companies, for example, like Homeward or Easy Knock. Those are the companies that offer some financing option. Even though you not qualify for 2 mortgages at the same time, they still be able to approve the loan, okay? Provide you a qualification, pre-qualification for that, getting the second house under contract, okay? Close on that house, and like I said, close on that house, you can move into that house and then prepare the first property later on. So those companies is very creative. I mean, this is very unique. Okay, even though if you are not qualified for 2 mortgages at the same time, you still be able to apply and move forward with that option. So what's the catch? Okay, this option is actually need a fee. The program gonna require a fee. It's not free, okay? And normally the fee gonna be about it from 2 or 3% of the purchase of the new house. Okay, so if you're living in you buying the second house at 500, it's gonna be 10,000 to 15,000 cost to use the program. However, though, because they are loan lender company, okay, if you use the lender from the company, you can actually waive those. You can actually waive those fees. The other thing that you have to think about, you cannot just keep the property forever, right? You have to sell it within a certain amount of time, and normally that's 6 months. Okay, so even though 6 months is good enough time for you to close, 6 months after the close of the second property, right? So if you close the property in February, you have until August to sell. Okay, so it's not like a month or two and rushing you and things like that. Okay, so you still have some time to renovate property number 1, put it on the market, waiting for the best offer for you on property number 1. I did actually help one couple with that exact same situation last month, and they really love it. That's create a lot of convenience for their family, especially when they have a little baby as well. Moving from one property to another property is a lot of problem. And therefore, buy before you sell is a good strategy for the family in that situation. Okay. Number 3, we're talking about creative financing options. So the question is why? Okay. So first of all, let's say, what is creative financing option? Okay. In the regular convention financing option, the buyer actually borrow money from a bank. Okay. And because they qualify for the loan, at the closing, the bank gonna send the money to the title company, and the title company gonna give that money to the seller, to the current homeowner. In creative financing option, there's no bank involved. Okay, there's no bank involved. It could be 2 options. Okay, the 2 situations. One, is the homeowner already paid off the property and therefore become the bank. Okay, become the bank to the buyer. And the second option is when they also have the current mortgage, which we'll talk about that later. Okay, but why? Why does the seller have to do that? Okay, some of the homeowners, maybe they have negative equity because, again, the current mortgage is too high compared to the current property, the value of the property. Okay. Or the second option is because, let's say, if they already pay off, right, and they want to maximize their property worth. Remember, if you sell, let's say, if you own a house free and clear for $500,000, when you sell, right, you only get $500,000. But because of creative financing, when you sell the property $500,000, and because you are going to charge an interest rate on that $500,000, you may end up getting $700,000 or $800,000 because of you charging the seller financing interest, right? It's very similar to a bank, right? When a bank giving the money to the buyer, they charge interest, and therefore at the end of 30 years, right? Well, you're gonna have another. The bank gonna have another like interest money that the buyer pay for them, right? Similarly, for creative financing, if you aiming to maximize the property, maximize the profit, and you're willing to wait for the buyers to make the monthly payment, you will then receiving more money than what the property actually was. I'm not suggesting that you're gonna keep the house like under financing for 30 years, but most of the time, creative financing option, the seller can finish the loan within 5 or 7 years. Now, this is a very long topic, and that could be another webinar itself. If you're interested in learning more about creative financing option and how to maximize your property worth, comment in the video or send me a text. I'll make sure that I invite you to that webinar when that happens. Okay. All right. So that's the why for creative financing. The second question is, a lot of people, when they first know about it, is it legal? Right? Is it legal? Is it even legal, or is it a scam? Right? Because this is not very popular. A lot of people haven't heard of that. Okay. And the answer is yes, it's 100% legal. Okay. Well, is it illegal? No. The answer is no. It is 100% legal. Okay. In fact, even the Arizona Association of Realtors have a specific addendum. Okay. Addendum is an additional document to the purchase contract. Okay. Designed so that the buyers and the seller can write up the terms about the financing that the seller is giving to the buyer. Right? So it's not just some random person come up with that strategy, right? But it is a recognized method, a recognized strategy that even a big association are aware of. In fact, and the next question is answering some of the topic I already talked about. If I still have mortgage, can I do this? Yes, we still. Basically, the idea is that the new buyer is going to take over whatever the mortgage that you have, okay, whatever the monthly payment, whatever the interest rates that you have, and that is the exact reason why this method become very popular in our market. Because if you have the mortgage that is 2 or 3 years old, okay, you probably have an interest rate about 3 or 4% or even 5%, right? So that is very attractive to a lot of buyers, because if they go to the bank right now and asking for a new mortgage, they do have actually to pay 7% or 8% interest rate. Okay, so the fact that they are able to get the 2 or 3 or 4% interest rate very attractive to them, and therefore they're willing to pay even higher for the property, and therefore it's win-win for everyone, right? The seller has more at the end, and the buyers actually have the better financial situation if they do only 2 or 3 or 4% interest rate. Like I said, this is a very fascinating method. This has been becoming a trend in nowadays market. If you are interested in learning more about the creative financing option, contact me, and we'll make sure that I invite you to that webinar. So why haven't I heard of this strategy? That's the last question, right? Because this is not a popular one, right? In fact, this is more popular in commercial real estate, okay? This is for like commercial real estate, multi-family unit, apartment complex. This is more popular than residential. In residential, most of the time, it just go to the bank. The fact that you have, that's the reason why you haven't heard of it a lot, but it's now becoming more and more popular in today's market. All right, so that's creative financing option. Option number 4, and notice that I have for A and for B. Okay, but it's basically strategy number 4 is talking about you selling the house to an investor. Okay, iBuyer is an investor. Okay, just different in a way that iBuyer is actually a big company that have a lot of cash. Okay, from they could have from the investor. They could be from stock market. They're a big company, so the cost of it is normally they're gonna charge a fee as well to use the service. Okay, the iBuyer is different than 4B, which I'll talk about that later on. 4As tend to offer a more reasonable price to the homeowner. However, they do charge a fee. The fee could be running from 2 to 6% and that could be an additional loss to the homeowner. Okay. So, do I always need an agent to represent in an iBuyer situation if I already lose money? The answer is yes, because different iBuyer company, for example, Open Door, OfferPad, Redfin, or some other smaller local iBuyers. Each state have their own iBuyers as well, and they do have a different process, a different method of calculate the purchase price and different fee. Okay, so if you do it by yourself, first of all, you don't know which iBuyers company is going to give you the best price for your house. Secondly, if you choose already the company that you want to move forward with, right, you don't know the process, you don't know the terminology in relating to that process. So therefore, you have to make sure you working with someone who experienced, okay, with iBuyer company to be able to understand the process and be able to select the best iBuyers for you. So yeah, that's actually answer my next question. Right? Each company, the reason is that each company has different CEO, they have different process, they have a different way to estimate the property value, and they have a different strategy to sell the house, and therefore they're not going to be the same. Okay, but the benefit of this iBuyer company is quick. One of the effective, the most beneficial benefit is fast. Okay, because iBuyer company, some of the company can close for 14 days and 30 days. So this is very helpful for the seller, homeowners who want to get rid of the house quickly for any situation. Okay, even though it have a higher fee, higher cost, it's still very quickly. Talking about higher fee, right? Let's go right into strategy 4B, wholesaler. This is the way that the wholesaler getting profit is they only pay about 70% to 85% of the home value. Okay, and therefore after renovation, selling to other people, that's how they make profit from the property. For example, if you have a house at $500,000, the maximum purchase price is only $350 for those wholesale. That these are the people who you receive a lot of mail or a lot of ad on the street, right? Saying, I can buy your home cash, right? Yeah, quick, no agent commission. That is a very popular advertised strategy that wholesaler has. They say no agent commission because that is very popular, right? A lot of homeowners know that they have to pay agent commission when they sell the house, which could run about 4, 5, or 6%, depending on the value of the house, right? But they didn't mention about the fact that they're going to offer 70% less than the market value, right? But that is how they make profit, right? 70% to 85% depend on the exit strategy, depend on whether they keep it or whether they sell it to someone else. Okay, that's how they make profit, and there's nothing wrong with that, because the benefit of this is to help seller, to help the homeowner get rid of the house quickly and less frustration. And some people have a really bad house. For example, some of the home that I saw have bad condition and cannot sell on the open market. So the homeowner has to spend a lot of money to improve to be able to sell it to the open market. That's why the wholesaler is benefit in that situation. Or for example, if a house is in foreclosure and the homeowner cannot get rid of that, right, very quickly, the wholesaler come in with their own cash, and therefore they can buy the house. Okay, so what is, like I said, this strategy is not for everyone, right? Not every strategy is applicable for everyone. This particular strategy is only available for someone who is very, very distressed situation. Okay, need the cash very quick, and therefore because no one, like, less likely, if it is a regular home, you're not gonna willing to give up 30 to 25% value of your house. Okay. All right. Now this is the most important part. Okay. Even though the four strategy is different, clearly you see that the different situation. So, but it's not suitable for everyone. All right. So how to appropriately select the best approach to sell your house? In general, we can draw a map like this. Okay, there's two axes. One is the distress level on the bottom, and one is the net proceed. The net proceed is how much you get at the end after implement the strategy, and the one on the right is the distress level. Okay, depend on the distress level. Distress level could be the house is in foreclosure, the house in horrible condition, you don't have any equity in the house, or maybe it's just a regular condition. Or maybe you have a little bit of stress because you have to move, right? You have to coordinate the move between one and two. Okay, so depend on the distress level. In here, the cash investor is the best option for someone who has the extremes distress level. However, as you see, the net proceed is going to be the lowest. Okay. In fact, maybe some of the situation you should look at creative financing option. Okay, to maybe willing to accept the monthly payment from the buyer, but you get a little bit higher net proceed at the end. Okay, buy before you sell is similar, like very minimal, like medium stress. It's a convenient stress rather than financial stress that we're talking about. Then gonna give you a higher profit. Traditional method, most of the time, if you do marketing right, okay, it's gonna give you the best bang in the buck. They give you the most amount of money, but you do have to have no situation involved, right? You don't have any must sell in that situation. Otherwise, this may not fit. Okay, so which method is good for you, right? In this situation, it's very difficult to say you fit with this, you fit with that, without knowing the detailed background information. So the best way is to utilize, to know which strategy is best for you, is to talk to an experienced agent who familiar with all four strategies, right? Because some of the agent may not know anything about creative financing, or some of the agent might not know anything about buy before you sell strategy. So you have to have an experienced agent who familiar with all fours, talk to you, you give them some information, and then they can analyze the best options for you, for your situation. Like I said, the previous couple that I helped last month, okay, they have the financial mean to do the buy before you sell. There's no reason to do traditional method and then buying the house at the same time, right? It's just too much work. Why have to rush? While you can take time, buy the next house before you sell the second house. Okay, yeah. So the best way to make the well-informed decision is to contact with an experienced agent so that they can analyze your situation. If you don't have any one that available to talk to you, feel free to contact me anytime, and I will be more than happy to answer any question that you may have about the four strategy. First of all, the four strategy, and also the analyze which strategy is best for your situation. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'm excited to share with you all this information. If you find this webinar is helpful, feel free to share to your friend, your family, your investor friends, your investor families, so that I can be able to help them out. It's going to be happening every month at the beginning of the month. So if you miss this webinar and you cannot ask live question, watch out for the next webinar. or just simply comment in this recorded video, I will respond to that comment as well. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And by the way, Happy New Year, and hope you have a good year in 2024. Bye-bye.